Good morning and welcome to the Family Day Scoreboard and Morning Report. Might be a little bit discombobulated today. It's been a hectic weekend, lots of action, NHL, CCHL, etc. But we're ready to give it a go. I think I've got most of the data gathered. First thing we want to take a look at, transactions in the NHL. Lots of actions in view of and in anticipation of the trade deadline. The Senators have recalled Dylan Hetherington from Belleville, and they actually made a trade with the Rangers for Gauthier and Tyler Mott involved in that trade. So that's it for the transactions. Lots of games last night in the NHL. Minnesota 4, Nashville 3, Ottawa 7-2 over St. Louis. St. Louis is probably reeling a little bit from the trade that they made. Unloaded a couple of big players to the Rangers. Ottawa continuing to play great hockey since the new year. 7-2 for the Sens. Colorado 6-5 over Edmonton in OT. And the Blues took it on the chin from the Blackhawks 5-3. New Jersey over Winnipeg 4-2. And Arizona 3-2 over Columbus in overtime. Family Day today. Several games lined up of interest to the folks in this area, of course. On the schedule, Ottawa at Boston at 1 p.m. Taking a look at my list of who's hot in the NHL. Panarin from the Rangers has moved into the top spot with 18 points in the last 10 games. Patterson from Vancouver right behind with 17, as is Jack Hughes from the Jersey Devils. We still have Nylander still in there with 14 points in his last 10 games as more games are played, and we have a shift in how we look at those kinds of things. Moving a little closer to home, CCHL. Saturday night, Cornwall over Pembroke 4-1, and Ottawa continued their leadership ways with a 7-3 win over Kempfel. A big win from the Braves and Cornwall's perspective, as the Braves are trying to maintain a margin with Kempfel 73s, and Cornwall Colts are trying to narrow that margin, looking and eyeing that eighth and final playoff spot. On Sunday, yesterday, it was Hawkesbury, a narrow 4-3 win over Nepean. Navan in a shootout over Rockland 2-1. And Renfrew over Pembroke 4-2. No easy wins, and as we said on so many occasions in the past, anybody can beat anybody in this league this year. Family Day today, Monday, February the 20th. Big matchup out in Kempfel. Braves are there to play the Kempfel 73s, 2 o'clock game time. 73s, I think, have edged within 6 points of the Braves, so the Braves need this win. The Braves have been winning, getting points in all of their games, but they don't seem to be getting much closer to that group of teams ahead of them. So a win here would make a very definitive statement to the 73s and maybe allow the Braves to pick up some points on the teams ahead of them. Other games today, Navan is at Cornwall, a rare Monday afternoon game not so much that it's Monday afternoon, but it's not Thursday night. Navan at Cornwall, 2 o'clock. Pembroke's at Renfrew at 2 o'clock today, and there's a night game in Smith Falls tonight at 7 o'clock. Carleton Place Canadians continues that battle with the Bears. They seem to be moving back and forth, back and forth. I think the Bears have maybe extended that lead to 3 points, but it's an ongoing battle between those two teams. And then on Tuesday, Rockland's right back at it with Carleton Place at 7:15. The importance of those games might show up a little bit here. I guess I failed to mark up the standings in any way, but you can see, yes, the Bears do have a 3-point edge over Carleton Place and Renfrew. And then actually only 8 points behind the Bears are the Brockville Braves. Kempville, 6 points behind that. Ottawa continues to lead that other division. Here we are. We're taking a look at the Q. Look at that score from yesterday. Halifax 11 at Moncton Hawks 3. 11 goals by Halifax yesterday. Dachau, I think, scored 4. Evan Boucher had 1. He's now up to 20 goals. He's only played 41 games. He missed the start of the season with an injury. He's now has 20 goals in the 21 games he's played. And Moncton, a real bugger for punishment. They're back in Halifax today at 2 o'clock. Not much action for Gavin McCarthy and his Oakville Blades. Today, they host Burlington, so the Burlington Cougars got across that city line. I don't know if it's at 16 Mile Creek or where exactly that boundary is, but I used to cross it each day when I was teaching in Oakville. And then Thursday, the Blades have to travel that 15 miles or so up to play Brantford. OJ's, the OHL schedule. Today, Sudbury is in Peterborough at 2:05 p.m. That's Gavin White's team, of course. On Friday, the Peach did beat Kingston, and Gavin did pick up an assist in that game. He fired a shot from the point, and one of the Peach snagged the rebound and buried the puck. So Gavin got another assist in that game. A little further west, as far as west as you can get without dipping your toes in the Pacific, Salmon Arm close 2-1 win over Prince George in overtime, and they lost by that same 1-goal margin to Prince George yesterday. Ryan Gillespie, I think, was shut out in both of those games. In skipping to the NCAA, we can take a look where Providence sits right in the middle of the Hockey East standings. 5 teams above them, 5 below them, and they lost a close one to Lowell, 2-1. But in the big games that we were looking at, and that was down at Penn State, when Simon Max, most of Eastern Ontario, went down to say, well, okay. We talked to Grandpa on a week ago Friday. They were making the trip down. Simon's parents and his sister were coming down, and his uncle was coming up from the south along with his family. So they were there to see University of Minnesota, who is in first place in their league, as you can see in the standings. I think all the Dancies and the Macs must have been pretty excited on Friday night, because I saw Simon was one of the starting defensemen for the University Penn State. So they were whipped 7-2. I think Liam Soulier in goal for the Penn State had a bit of an off game, and that's the way it's been going for them lately. They lost 7-2, but I think he was one of the stalwarts on Saturday's game when they came back. Minnesota tied that game in the last minute to force it in overtime and then spoiled the game for Penn State by winning it in overtime 3-2. Next Friday, Wisconsin's at Penn State. And if you take a quick look up there at the standings, you see that Wisconsin is below Penn State in the standings. So that's it for our hockey report for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back live again tomorrow morning somewhere close